Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Core Racing Network. Tonight, the UCRL Top Gun Cup back in action here, and we get to see them head to an old favorite for some, and for some, it's just another short track that they don't like. And we won't get into anybody in particular that talks about short tracks, but he is joining me in the booth here tonight. That is Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, we're here at the Half Mile North Wilkesboro Speedway, and this is a very unique little half-mile track.
Yeah, this is one of many short tracks out there that I do not have much time on. Matter of fact, the only history of me driving on this track was quite a while ago now, and I met a core member, the name of Dave Allure, because of my paint scheme that I was running. I had a retired Navy chief paint scheme running here, and he asked me what my birthday was, and I let him know, and we kind of giggled about it. And then he's like, "Hey, I know these people over at Core," and that's how I got introduced to Core. But this is where I met him, the short track. So I don't like racing them, but this is where I came from. This is where I started, and I just trying to get better, and just to be here tonight with the guys from UCRL is just another amazing night. And as I kind of look up to these guys, so they got a great talent out here, and to see them come around here tonight, and can't wait to see what kind of performance they put on for us.
Yeah, I would expect nothing but a good shot here tonight. And last week they were able to go caution free at the Lady in Black at Darlington, or I should say 2 weeks ago. I can't say that I expect the same here. North Wilkesboro can be just a difficult track. I mean, there's no really two ways to put it. It's got downhills and uphills. For a short track, you don't see that too often, but if you're not familiar with North Wilkesboro, from turn 4 to turn 1, it actually goes slightly downhill, and then from turn 2 to turn 3, it goes slightly uphill, and it makes the entering the corners just completely different. And in turn 1, it's kind of a little bit wider entry, and you're really almost kind of looking to get down towards the bottom, either right away and diamonding, turns 1 and 2, or looking to get to the bottom kind of in the middle of turns 1 and 2, almost the exact opposite. Turns 3 and 4, it has a bit of a curb, as you see right there on board with Jeff Ryan. Bit of a curb there on the inside, and that's kind of what you're looking to try and get down to as you enter the corner in turn 3, and you want to kind of stay down there the entire time. You may see some guys wander up to the second line or even the third line, maybe to try and save a little tires, or just be easy on the car. But generally the low line is where you want to be here tonight. And as of right now, Trevor Hunt is your man on top of the boards with a 19.917.
Yeah, Trevor getting it done early over Andrew Ratcliffe, so it's been the favorite at a lot of tracks. Andrew kind of stressed that he really enjoys the short track, so he's going to be another monster to beat here at this short track. But Trevor Hunt getting it done, putting his 59 machine up on the pole here tonight with a 19.9, like you said. So right now we only have about 5 seconds left of qualifying, and then we'll go ahead and we'll bring up those results here as they're go ahead and gridding. And the lineup for tonight of our 20-car field is going to be Trevor Hunt on the pole with Andrew Ratcliffe on the outside, then Brent Kirby, Jake Lesh, and Matthew Simmons for your top 5. Then you have Travis Bennett, Grady Gherkin, Jordan Wenzel, Eric Jeffers, and Sam Oliver rounding out your top 10. And Tim Glass, Chris Camidlin, Mike Whitley Jr., Scott Bolster, Tony Japs, Jeff Ryan, Peter Pazuchek, Stuart Alford, and I gotta click a button here to get the rest of the fellers. Then you have Justin Kirby in 19th, and Joshua Witherspoon rounding out your 20. So just a couple cars in the back with no times. Maybe we'll see Justin Kirby go from the back to the front here tonight.
So we did have Jasper Crawford set up as our in-race reporter here tonight, pre-race reporter, but unfortunately not in the field here tonight. So we will be just running these guys straight to the race here. But pretty good sized field, as Jimmy said, 20 guys out here, and really on short tracks, you typically don't like to see more than that. Of course, you love to see 30, 40 car fields, but when you get to short track racing, 20 car field is kind of nice. You don't really want to get too much more than that, because it's just more chances of chaos going on. And these cars are going to be a handful here at North Wilkesboro. I know just from running at the track myself, and I know these guys have their setups created by Scott Bolster, but these cars can get a little edgy on the power, and coming up out of turn 4, it can get very, very sketchy getting on the power and trying to get the full power, and sometimes you're kind of working that throttle until you get to the start finish line before you can actually fully get the power down, and by the time you're getting to the start finish line, you're already thinking about the braking zone. So to be fast here, it's really just, you know, focusing on being smooth, keeping those tires underneath you, and not getting them angry, because as soon as they're angry, just like any other track, it's going to take a few laps. And here at North Wilkesboro, it's probably going to take 2-3 laps depending on how bad you kind of heat those tires up. But on the front row, it is Trevor Hunt and Andrew Ratcliffe. Second row is Brent Kirby, Jake Lesh. Then you have Matthew Simmons, Travis Bennett, Grady Gherkin, Jordan Wenzel, Eric Jeffers, and Sam Oliver. Your top 10 pace car lights are out. 175 laps on tap here tonight. And we are getting ready to go green in the Top Gun Cup.
Pace car is in.
And race number 6 on the season is underway. A great start from Trevor Hunt, jumps right out to the lead and right up to the top line to get a good entry into turns 1 and 2. And you see the guys probably just tiptoeing a little bit on these first couple laps to get the tires underneath them, and yeah, you don't want to anger them. It's really a tire game at this track.
And they're doing a pretty good job kind of keeping off each other. Oh, it looks like the 6 is getting a little bit loose there. Going to get pushed to the outside. Him and the 81 get together just a little bit. They gather them cars back up and keep them going.
So good start for the guys up front here. Looks like everybody's single file all the way back to the battle right here on your screen. That is for the 10th and final top 10 position here between the 86 of Chris Comedlin and the 81 of Jordan Wenzel, and looks like it's going to sort out, and Comedlin going to take that spot as he's running a little bit higher line than you see the rest of these guys. The rest of these guys all the way down on the bottom, but Comedlin running up there just a little bit, and that could be, you know, again, just letting the car kind of go where it wants to go, and not angering the tires as much as possible. Battle back here for the 14th spot and 13th spot as Whitley Jr. in the Krispy Kreme 93. You got Bolster on the outside in the 45, and then on the inside, getting very close there, the 67 of Jeff Ryan.
Yeah, and you know, this is typically where I hang out when I'm running with these guys, and with the next gens, kind of in the back, kind of around these guys back here. But a lot of good racing, very respectful back here, and they're giving each other room, you know, letting the car come to them. And you know, one thing I kind of learned about you know, ovals, you know, is you don't want to give too much steering inputs. You know, you want to try to limit yourself of you know, not going too much farther. Scott Bolster goes around.
Yeah, spin in the back there, and certainly of all the 45, looks like he got a little bit of help maybe from the Tide machine of Tony Japs, and gets in there into turn 1, and you see Bolster trying to save it, almost had saved, and then just slides up the track a little bit more, and then gets a little bit more help from the 72, and around goes Bolster right in front of poor Zuchek, and not much Peter can do in that situation. Going to tag him in the right rear, and then he's going to get plowed in the back by Kirby as well. But all in all, it doesn't look like too much damage for these guys, so they may have gotten away, I don't want to say scot-free, but it looks like it's, you know, pretty clean there. No pun intended.
No pun intended. Sorry, Scott. Yeah, I mean, it just kind of, you know, the nature of the beast being in the back, and you know, such close racing, and you know, competitive from all the way from the front all the way to the back. You know, these guys enjoy racing around each other and putting on the best show that they can. So just a little racing incident here, and you know, it's getting used to these cars, and again, these. I gotta look at the AP's report. I didn't even look to see how long, or kind of expected to see how long. Not the AP's report, the pre-racing briefings. I think, Yeah, we should see right around 180 laps out of a fuel run. So we'll see. That would mean they don't even need to stop. So that's gonna be interesting to kind of see where these guys lay and you know how much they want them. A couple sets of tires that they have in the pits.
So under caution here on lap 9, and your rundown is going to be Trevor Hunt, Andrew Ratcliffe, Brent Kirby, Jake Lesh, Grady Gherkin, your top 5. Then you have Bennett, Jeffers, Simmons, Oliver, Wenzel, your top 10. Taking a look at the point standings coming into this race, and on top of the boards for the Top Gun Cup is Andrew Ratcliffe. No surprise, as he has 2 wins on the season already, and he is 76 points ahead of Grady Gherkin in second, Eric Jeffers in third, Peter Borzuchek, Travis Bennett, your top 5. Then you have Ryan, Lesh, Bolster, Japs, Glass, and Whitley, your top 10. Pace car is off, and we are back racing here as we complete lap 10 and start lap 11. Good start again from Trevor Hunt on the front there. He is going to clear the 24 coming onto the backstretch, and it looks like Brent Kirby going to clear Jake Lesh as well as they head into turn 3.
Yeah, then the battle ensues with everybody just trying to make some spots up, you know, basically mid-pack here, trying to not let the leaders get too far ahead. I mean, they're not going to get too far ahead. I mean, the track's pretty short, but as far as position, I think every position is a premium when you can get rolling here, and you can see Jake Lesh there at the bottom, losing a spot to Brent Kirby for P number 3.
Side by side as Bennett going around the long way here and gonna get around the 7 of Lesh and move himself into the 4th position.
Oh, and the 49. Ooh.
And a little mix up there is going to send Simmons up into the wall, but they will get it away cleanly, and I'm sure that car is going to take a couple laps to get back underneath him, but all in all, a pretty good save there for the 49 of Simmons. Yeah, he's going to fall back to 13th, but it could have been a lot worse.
Just get a little quick stat replay here of Simmons. Looks like the 81 tagged him just a little bit and then re-tagged him, straightened him back out, keeping up there that long side wall, but guys had to check up behind him. So good job in the field being able to check up for the 49, and good job there by letting him go around. But as we're talking around that, and it looks like we have a yellow flag as... Let's see what happened. Something happened back here. Travis Bennett went off the track. Oh, yep, there's Travis Bennett getting a little loose, going down on the grass, spinning around, going back up on the track. Wow, that was a close one right there by the back of the pack. As they had to go 4 wide to get around him.
Yeah, good job. And one thing I got to say about this league is they're very aware once a caution comes out or they see a guy spinning. Their ability to just avoid the guy that's spinning, avoid the guy that's wrecking is top notch. I mean, plain and simple, there's very few times, unless, you know, there's absolutely no time to make a decision, where you'll see a multi-car crash or, you know, 3, 4, 5 guys getting involved in the same incident. It's usually, you know, 1 or 2 guys at most. So unfortunately this time it's going to involve the 6 of Travis Bennett just, you know, making his way up into the top 3 and then having an incident right there. It was the start that he wanted to see, and now not so much.
Yeah, not so much now, as he's got a lot of time, you know, now he's going to have to make a decision what he wants to do. Losing all those spots, but you can see the 6 going into the pits right now, you know, after that big spin, you know, maybe getting a little repairs done, maybe he'll take some tires. We'll see where he goes from there. Let's see if I can grab him here. Let's see, where's he at? He's already a lap down, so.
But a long race here, as we are only a 10th of the way through this thing. So, you know, one more caution, and as long as Bennett is not involved, then he'll be able to pick that lap right back up. A little bit of damage on the front grill of that Burger King machine. It looks like he is going to
he's gonna tow it.
Jump into the pits, and not sure what's going on there. If that's going to be the night for the 6, and yeah, it looks like it might be.
So tough break for Travis Bennett. Going out there and not being able to get the repairs fixed to his car. Maybe something came up and he just had to park up for the night. So whatever it is, Travis, hope everything's okay, and look forward to seeing you next week if you don't return tonight.
Pace car lights are out, and we're getting ready to go green here once again after we complete lap 20. It is still Hunt, Ratcliffe, Kirby, and Les, your top 4. Gherkin rounding out your top 5. Then Jeffers, Oliver, Wenzel, Comedlin, and Ryan making out your top 10.
Yeah, so a few people on the move right now. I got Jeff Ryan and Stuart Alford up 6 spots so far from the beginning. I know that a couple cautions have come into play, but those guys are definitely moving up as they're bunched up. As a good friend of ours would say, the accordion is our favorite instrument.
Exactly. And it's one of those things where, I feel like I talk about it week in and week out when it comes to short tracks. You get antsy. When you're all bunched up here together, it's your best chance to get 2, 3, 4, or 5 positions instead of, working lap after lap after lap, just try and get around one person. You're so close to so many people, and it just, you're kind of grinding your teeth, trying to hope, that you have patience, but it's really tough to have patience when you're bunched up, especially on a short track.
Yeah,
but these guys, it looks like they're settling out now.
It's tough. It's challenging. You're so close, and you're like, just get out of my way. Why are you so slow? And then next corner, you're just like, why can't I catch this guy? So, who's taking care of their tires? Who's saving fuel? Who's just playing patient? Who's just looking, not at the car just in front of them, looking like all the way 3-4 cars up, just in case something happens. Are they battling? Are they just kind of riding? We're 24 laps into this 175 lap race, and anything can happen. Plenty of racing left here tonight. Right now they are filing out a little bit single file as the 86 gets a little bit looser coming off of turn 4, but right now it's all Trevor Hunt over Andrew Ratcliffe, Brent Kirby, Jake Lesh, and Grady Gherkin.
And another caution looks like in turn number 2.
86.
Actually, turn number 4. 86 of Chris Comedlin. Another one that was running inside the top 10, having some issues.
That's just all I had, that he was entering the pits, so.
And
maybe.
Just getting loose. Just straight up getting loose, coming through the corner there, and he's going to avoid coming into the pits there, as he probably would have got a penalty for doing that. So some good awareness there to get it spun back around, and I think the little Lego figurine face on there pretty much is the same face that he's probably wearing after that one right there.
Yeah, that's, whoops. A little bit too much gas. And, the 87s, they're very close to the Gen 4s where they have a lot of power and just a little bit too much, send you around. So just a little loose there on that exit of 4. And, it's, the second time we've seen them kind of get loose there. So this time able to at least stay off the pit wall entry there and keep it out of the pits, and just gonna end up falling to the back of the pack. And it looks like Peter Pazuchek taking early pit as he was tied up in an incident earlier, and so he's probably trying to get a little bit of his damage repaired and salvage his race here tonight.
So once these guys get going and we get a little green flag run here, I mean, the laps do click off pretty quickly here, as they're getting basically 3 laps done every minute, as the lap times are up in the upper 20-second range. So these laps will fly by pretty quickly if they get green flag laps rolling. But unfortunately, right now it looks like kind of the typical MO for some of these setups. They run good for about 4, 5, 6 laps, and then just get a little bit free on the back end. So see if these guys can kind of wrangle these cars in and get them through that little slick stage, and keep them firing off the corners with all four tires pointing the correct way. Again, I mentioned it before. It's not easy here, especially coming off of turn 4. The back end just gets really free, and it's partly in due to the track sloping away. As from turn 4 to turn 1, again, it goes downhill, so it's it's kind of helping unload that car coming off of turn 4. It's not like you're coming off the corner and it's banked and it's kind of coming up towards you. Essentially, you're still kind of falling away coming off of turn 4. So that's what helps lead to those issues. But we are on lap 29. I'm going to finish this one here and should be 1 to green this time by. And again, it'll be Hunt and Ratcliffe at the front. Lesh and Kirby will make up your second row. Gherkin, Jeffers, Oliver, Wenzel, Ryan, and Alfred, your top 10.
Yeah, lights are off on the pace car as they head down the backstretch here as we're riding on top of Trevor Hunt's car. Getting a good look at that pace car, and so hopefully we won't see too much more of that Mustang here tonight, but they're getting ready to go green.
Once again, in the hands of the 59 here of Hunt, and waiting for him to jump on that loud pedal, and going to do so here coming out of turn 4. Ratcliffe going to hang with him. They're going to be side by side going into turn 1. This is the best battle that we've seen so far. Can Hunt clear him by turn 2? It looks like the 24 is still going to fight on the outside, and wreck in third place right there, as it looks like Kirby was involved, and the 86 also getting tagged up into that one. Let's take a look at that one more time.
Slowing it down just a little bit, but it looks like Kirby and Lesh just kind of bump just a little bit. See if I can swing cameras around here.
Yeah, it looks like the 7 gets a little bit loose up on that high side, but it was going to be close regardless, but unfortunately gets into the 57 of Kirby, and really at that point he's along for the ride, and the 7 gonna get away from that one, but unfortunately here at the end I believe the 86 is also gonna get involved, and very close there for Whitley, and yeah, the 86 nowhere to go there at the end, and just about flips that 40 or the 57 over, but couple of cars right there, and I see some smoke. Not sure if that's coming from the engine or just from the tire smoke. Looks like maybe just from the tires there, which is a good sign for both, but that was a pretty hard impact there.
Yeah, pretty hard impact, and I mean, these guys get one fast repair, and obviously that's not something they want to use, especially this early in the race. But, it might come down to something where they need to do that, but yeah, another tough event there between the 7 and the 57, putting the 57 to the back. So I'm sure Brent is not too good of not too happy at the moment. So we'll see how he recovers from that little incident, as he did a great job of holding his brakes after he got spun around, trying to stay up to that high side so people could avoid him.
Cautions, breeding cautions here, and maybe this should have been the race that I made a little bet with these guys, and said, hey, if you keep it clean. I mean, short tracks are short tracks.
You didn't throw it on the table again, so I mean,
no.
They had nothing to fight for tonight. But they are fighting each other, and Trevor Hunt doing a great job so far, keeping Andrew Ratcliffe at bay. So right now at 35 out of 175 laps, you have Trevor Hunt, Andrew Ratcliffe, Grady Gherkin, Eric Jeffers, Jake Lesh, Sam Oliver working his way up in the top 10, Jordan Wenzel, Stuart Alfred, and Jeff Ryan, and Matthew Simmons for your top 10. Then you have Justin Kirby, Michael Whitley, Tony Japs, Tim Glass, Joshua Witherspoon, Scott Bolser, Peter Pasuchek, Brett Kirby, Chris Camidlin, and Travis Bennett for your 20-car field here tonight.
Pace car lights are out once again, and we will get the green flag here starting at lap 37. Still got a long way to go in this race. And I mean, if you're Trevor Hunt, even if you're Andrew Ratcliffe, you're okay with these cautions right now. It's early in the race, and you don't need to be battling this early anyway. So just go ahead and keep rolling out these cautions, and we'll just work our way to the end here. But a big early jump this time from Trevor Hunt, not wasting any time, and he's going to clear the 24 going into turn 1. Ratcliffe still going to choose the high line. It's going to open up the inside for Gherkin, and they'll be a little bit side by side coming off the corner, but the 24 going to clear on the outside. Trevor Hunt getting a good restart here once again. Back in the pack, some battling back there for 6th and 7th place with Wenzel and Oliver. Now 3 wide back there.
There's something going on with Sam Oliver and Jeff Ryan. Jeff Ryan a little bit loose.
Yeah, Jeff Ryan gonna fall back and lose a couple positions out of that battle right there. Oliver's gonna move himself into 7th and very close right there with the 67 of Ryan and the 49 of Simmons, as Simmons tries to work his way back up through the field, doing a good job right now, up to 10th position. And a bit of a swarm back in the back here.
Yeah, the guys towards the back of the pack, they race so hard, and it doesn't matter to them, whether they're 15th or 12th or whatever. They race just as hard like if it was in the lead, and they're doing a good job. And there are a lot of side-by-side racing, and it's difficult on a short track, to maintain either that outer line or keep your car down to that inside, and try to conserve them tires with doing this.
So battling back here with Tim Glass and the 18 on the outside, and the Wendy's Hyper X machine, and on the inside there, the 45 of Bolster, repping the old school cartoons on his car.
Love it.
Another yellow flag, and looks like this one's going to involve Simmons once again.
Oh, this is the wrong one. Could be this one.
Yep, there we go. Yeah, and unfortunately Kirby getting into it, and Simmons does not hold the brakes, drives down into.
And then Peter Pasuchek. That looks like Brent Kirby was involved.
Both Kirby's getting involved with Simmons right there, as looks like Justin gets into the back of him, and then the Simmons comes down into Brent at the end of that one. So rough one right there for all 3 cars involved.
Yeah, right. For a rough night for some of these guys, but some of these guys are going to take advantage and come down into the pits. Jake Kletch is going to stay out along with Joshua Witherspoon. The rest of the field is in the pits with Trevor Hunt, Andrew Ratcliffe, Brent Kirby, Matthew Simmons, Grady Gherkin, Jordan Wenzel, Eric Jeffers. All these guys are down, so this is going to, a little bit of action down there at pit road. And of course, my cameraman, or AKA my mouse, is missing somewhere on my screen. There he is. But yeah, the pit lane definitely is showing some action here as they are racing down. And that's an incident on pit road as Tim Glass ran into the back of Peter Pasuchek as they're trying to check up for the pace car.
And that's really another thing too. I mean, obviously pit roads, once you get down to it, the pit box and everything like that are the same distance apart, usually, for the most part. But when it comes to short tracks, you're trying to get in and off what seems to be, even quicker than normal, because you're worried about the pace car coming back around, as the time for the pace car to get around the track is a lot quicker, obviously, at the short tracks than it is anywhere else. And even under pacing right now, they're going around there at 40 seconds, 41 seconds, roughly, just pacing around this track. So you figure out, if they're at full speed, they're going 20 seconds around this track. Then you factor in the slow pit road speeds, plus getting the tires and the fuel and everything like that. If you're in the back of the pack, you got to really consider, coming in, taking 2 tires, and then coming back in, taking the other 2 if you really want to take all 4. Because it can get pretty tight time-wise.
Yeah, some people don't think about that. They're like, "Oh, I need fresh tires," and just to stay on the lead lap, you might have to make a decision like that. Just, obviously taking lefts or rights and fuel, and then come back in and top it off and take the other side. And especially in the back, like he said, there's no loss. I mean, you only have to gain and plus stay on the lead lap. So a lot of positives by just staggering your pits strategy like that, and might benefit maybe towards the end. But I think they're in the window to go to the end as far as fuel goes, but tires will be a big concern. But the man out front right now will be the number 7 of Jake Lesh as he brings him down to the green flag. Oh, what a shot from Andrew Radcliffe to the back of 41.
Witherspoon had a rough time getting going right there, and now already getting pushed again. Looks like they're going to be 3 wide, close to contact there once again as Hunt looking to the inside. And he's going to get the move in there, and they're almost 4 wide back there. It's too early, boys. It's only 49 laps into this thing. Just get it settled out, get it sorted out, and let's get this thing rolling. And somehow they'll sort it out a little bit, at least for the time being.
Yeah, and this is where, when you kind of get stuck in a lane and, you're kind of getting railroaded, where people are just going by one at a time and there's nothing you can do. And that's kind of what's going on with the 41 right now, as he's trying to work his way down, and every time he tries to go down, there's somebody there. So Sam Oliver is underneath the 41 now with the 4 of Eric Jeffers, trying to take that spot away as well. So it's looking like the position would be behind the 4 for that 41 to kind of fall in and not lose any more spots, as right now he's going to battle with Eric Jeffers. But right now Andrew Radcliffe has taken the lead over Trevor Hunt, looking to stretch that out. Grady Gerkins in 3rd, Jordan Wenzel's in 4th, Stuart Alford up to 5th, Jake Lesh is in 6th, and Sam Oliver is in 7th.
So still 19 cars here in the field, just losing Travis Bennett earlier in the race as the 20th position car. But yeah, as Jimmy mentioned, out front now is Andrew Radcliffe, and we've seen that a lot. But now somehow, I don't know what was going on there.
I just seen him tumbling down
there, and yeah, I'm guessing the 59 blinked out there for a second as he dropped down the boards.
Scared me. I thought Trevor, something happened to Trevor. I was like, that's early.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody dodging around up there, and I just seen the 59 dropping down, and it said out, and I'm like, yeah. So Trevor Hunt, all good. All good. Just driving around here in 2nd place, and just need a little quick breather, I guess. But out front, it is Andrew Radcliffe. Once again, we've seen this story before here in the Top Gun Cup this season. That's why he is the points leader. And he is out to a half a second lead right now over Hunt. Gerken in 3rd, Wenzel in 4th. And you got Alford, Oliver, Jeffers, Lesh, Witherspoon, and Ryan at your top 10. Whitley is back there in 11th. Tony Japson 12th. Brent Kirby up to 13th. Scott Bolster in 14th, Justin Kirby in 15th. So Bolster right between those 2 Kirby brothers. Just saying, I would just gotta watch out for that. And then you got Matthew Simmons in 16th. But we got some incidents going on the backstretch. And were they able to save that? It looks like they were.
Yeah, I think so.
Not sure if the 41 is kind of good to go in that Cheer Y number 41, but looks like both drivers will save the incident right there. We will not go under caution.
Yeah, just go back, kind of see what happened here.
I think it was the next lap by on the back stretch.
Yeah, just all I had to go by was a passing. It wasn't really any incident.
Yeah, so it should be this time by on the back stretch.
Ooh, 83
or
just
not.
getting. No? Well, if anything, right now they are still green, and it was a good battle as they were going side by side. It looks like the 41 did come down into the pits though to get a little bit of service. Maybe he just had an unacquired meatball that he did not need. So, but anyways, 41 is back on a track as the 58 goes around and the 86 is on the high side. But Andrew Radcliffe out front by only a half a second over Trevor Hunt. So Trevor's not letting him get away. But Andrew Ratcliffe has taken control of the field. Then Trevor Hunt and Grady Gherkin are right behind him, and Jordan Wenzel get a little bit tight in that corner. And as it looks like the 72 of Stuart Alford up 13 spots, so he is your biggest mover of tonight so far, and P number 5.
Yeah, opposite ends of the spectrum right now for our 2 Canadians in the field. Alford all the way up into 5th place, while Peter Brzucek is up 1 spot, but still back there in 16th position. So I may need to let's put the Canadians in the same Discord and kind of help each other out here. But as it goes right now, Ratcliffe is out to only a quarter-second lead now, as Trevor Hunt has driven right back onto his bumper. It was out to a half a second, and you can see it is not a half a second anymore, as maybe even some contact there going into turn 1. But the 59, the Black Magic Motorsports, and the Black Dog is on the hunt right now.
Okay, he had a good run. He must have had a little bad corner as Andrew was able to stretch his lead back out again. So I'm sure Trevor is kind of maybe noticing a little bit of wear in his tires as, you know, you're battling and you get them things heated up and take you a few laps to kind of calm them back down, but that's going to slow them up just a little bit, allow Andrew to kind of stretch it back out again. And looks like Grady Gherkin is on the pursuit, maybe to get around Trevor as well, but a little shove there to the 59 from the 46.
And speaking of Black Magic Motorsports, we'll take a look at the team standings here for the Top Gun Cup, and no surprise that Turn and Burn Racing is on top of the boards. And I mean, when you got guys like you know, your top 2 in points, it kind of makes it a little bit easier with Andrew Ratcliffe and Grady Gherkin. Full Throttle Motorsports in 2nd, Black Magic Motorsports in 3rd, Sprunk International 4th, Impact Motorsports, Incas Also Racing, and No Lift Motorsports, your 7-team field there in the championship standings. But we are back under caution once again.
Oh, Witherspoon. The troubles with the 41 continue as he a little bit too much gas, getting loose, sliding back up on the track.
Ooh, very close there with Tim Glass, but he gets along by.
Yeah, so not too bad. He was able to keep no contact on the wall, locked up the brakes for Tim to get around as Tim decided to go below him. So back out in front of the leaders and not losing any more laps, but not what Josh wanted tonight so far, as he was having a pretty good run there until he fell back to the field.
So new round of pit stops here, and your leader's going to stay out there, as Alfred now going to move up into 4th position, but definitely have some takers here coming into pits, as Brent Kirby, Jake Lash, Jordan Wenzel, Eric Jeffers, Michael Whitley Jr., Justin Kirby, Jeff Ryan, all in pit lane.
Yeah, and this might be one of those times where, you know, maybe they're thinking about just having a little bit fresher tires. So these guys come in at lap 67 over the guys that have been out there on lap 43. So if, you know, the initial, obviously the initial new tires are going to be a little bit faster. And then, you know, if they go green for a longer time, it should net Eric Jeffers, Jordan Wenzel, Jake Lesh, Michael Whitley, Justin Kirby, and Brent Kirby all better tires towards the end of the race if they were to decide to go green the rest of the way. Wink, wink, boys.
Yeah, and it really, the other thing you need to look at too is how far can these guys make it on fuel. I mean, it looks like the fuel run from here, they'd be able to make it to the end, and they may be able to make it to the end even from lap 43, as it looks like they're going to make it pretty far on fuel. But you know, that could be another factor. Those guys coming in here in lap 67, according to the pre-race report, it should be easily makeable now all the way to the end, as we are going to have 105 laps to go this time. Actually, yeah, well, this time it's going to be 105 to go, but we're going to go green with 104 to go. Pace car lights are still on. But Ratcliffe is out front, Hunt in second, Gherkin third, Alford, Oliver, Japs, Bolster, Jeffers, Wenzel, Lesh, your top 10. So it just seems like, it seems like the same story over and over again here from the cautions, and that's just from guys kind of goosing up the throttle and trying to get the power down just a little bit earlier than the car will allow. As we get going green once again, a great start from the inside, and looks like a little teamwork right there as the 24 is going to get to the lead, but possibly help out Gherkin get around.
Japs.
Hunt, but looks like cautions breeding cautions again here tonight, and we got a bit of a traffic jam in turn 2.
Yeah, so that one started early, and I know I caught Tony Japs spinning around, but it looks like with the Eric Jeffers, it's kind of where it started. So yeah, let's go here. Yeah, just Eric Jeffers getting into the back of the 19 just a little bit. That would be the 19, the 4, the 7, the 57, and 58, the 18. Pretty much anybody up on the high side, you were in the danger zone. The 41 slowing down almost to a stop. So a little bit of a parking lot in that one, Carl.
Yeah, and unfortunately, one of the first times we're even taking a look at Eric Jeffers here tonight, and it's not where he wanted to be involved in the incident.
Yeah, he was having a good run up there just before that incident there. So, yeah, just kind of put some of them guys that took them tires, and that didn't help too much, as they were the ones that were kind of involved. But Andrew Ratcliffe maintaining his lead over Grady Gherkin, Trevor Hunt, and Sam Oliver, Stuart Alford for your top 5.
Not sure if it's my eyes deceiving me, but it almost looks like the 49 is crab walking just a little bit of Matthew Simmons.
Let's go check him out, and we'll go on the good old chase cam, because that should give us a really good view.
And I mean, it even looks like it in the corners there. We'll take a look at it on the front, on the backstretch here, and maybe not too much. Maybe it's just kind of the design of the car.
See if we can go into the cockpit.
That Thunder Meow number 49 there.
Yeah, his hands are pretty much straight, so there's not too much going on with that car. So maybe just the way the camera hit it, but definitely interesting. There's something to watch as this race progresses here, as we just completed lap 75, working on 76. Cautions seem to be the theme tonight, as it's a rough one out here at the short track.
Yeah, and it's short track action at its best, unfortunately, right now, and it's tough for these guys to get going. And a lot of guys having some damage to their cars right now, and need to be able to at least limp these around for quite some time right now. But before you take your fast repair, you don't want to take it too early, obviously, in any race. But at a short track here, you don't necessarily need to take it, unless you're really hurting for speed or anything like that. But any little bit of damage it's going to maybe take off a little bit of speed. But short tracks, you're not worried too much about the speed, but the handling is what everybody's struggling with right now. And you're dinged up a little bit, it's not going to help the handling of that car at all. As the 24 Ratcliffe off to the races once again, and going to clear into turn 1. Hunt's going to clear for third, and hopefully this clears up by the backstretch, but they were 3 wide once again in the back half of this top 10, and looking to possibly do it again.
Yeah, 72. Alfred kind of pushing the issue
and
a little bit tight.
That's going to get Bolster into the wall.
Yeah, so aggressive move by Alfred, pushing him 3 wide to get around Scott. Scott tagged the wall, but able to maintain control of the car, as they are now 2 wide back behind that 83 with Jake Lesh and Scott Bolster, and the 57 and 19 also 2 wide. So 2 wide here in the back as these guys battle for these positions. In the front 3, Andrew Ratcliffe, Grady Gherkin, and Trevor Hunt. 1, 2, 3. So these guys doing a good job up front here. Jordan Wenzel just took over the position over Sam Oliver. So Sam Oliver trying to get that bottom side to take that P number 4 away from Wenzel.
Yeah, just not really getting the drive coming out of the corner. He's getting up to him, entering the corner, and even through the middle of the corner. But the drive off on the outside is keeping Wenzel in front, and will do so as he gets very close there for 3rd place. Hunt's almost getting that front bumper up underneath the rear of the 46, and almost doing it again, as now from washing up a little bit in turn 1, he had a little bit of pressure there from the 81 of Wenzel, but I think Wenzel kind of knows that the high line is where you really need to be, but it's tough passing here, and you want that inside, and maybe a little bit of bumper there from the 81. Now going to dive it down on the inside, and Oliver going to try and take advantage of it and go to the inside of Hunt as well.
Yeah, Sam did a good job of walling his car up and keeping that car down to the outside. That was it was a good attempt, and it's one that you want to try to make stick, and just not the runoff, but doing a great job of staying off of Trevor and just falling back into P number 5. And it looks like Jeff Rhyme is going to go around the outside of Sam. I'm sure Sam's negotiating with his tires after that last maneuver.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you go to make the pass and it doesn't stick on the inside, then you're prone to a guy coming from behind and going to the outside and trying to make the pass on you. So that's what you see right there. But Ryan not getting a good drive through the corner. He's going to fall back behind, and now looks like Brent Kirby up into the top 10 and trying the inside out on Tony Japs here for 9th. And going to have the position coming off of turn 4.
Not able to quite pull, like if he wanted to drift up just a little bit, Tony kind of shut that door on him just a little bit, forcing him to kind of keep that low line. So, but good job on these drivers here. Keep it clean. Nice pass.
Jake Lush back there behind Tony Jeff, trying to work his way back up into the top 10 as he was running up in the top 4 for much of the early portion of this race before the pit stops getting changed up. It looks like the 72 turned around backwards, and probably a good thing that he kind of locked it up straight backwards, as Alford is going to have to wait. Take a look at one more time, and getting a little bit of help there from the 57.
Oh, that's right in front of Tony Japs. Tony was able to go to that high side, and good job for Alford to just kind of keep that wheel straight and he didn't lock it up. You can tell he's on the brakes as his rotors are bright orange there, but everybody's able to miss him and not take any damage, with the exception of maybe little beat up tires there as he's starting to get that car moving, kind of see what the rest of the field's going to do as he's going to make a move, showing what he's doing early. That's going to allow Peter to go to the outside. Eric Jeffers went around the outside. See if he can keep it off the fence as he's getting it turned around. I'm just going to use the fence to kind of get it around. So little dinger there on the front bumper, but not too bad for the 72. Could have been a lot worse.
So I think I'm seeing a theme here, Jimmy, and I guess I want to take some of the blame for it. And maybe I've been getting on the Kirbys too much for trying to get into each other, and since they have the eyes on it right now, and they don't want to stir up that feud between each other, they're just kind of taking out their anger on everybody else. That's that's kind of the way it seems right now. So, maybe if they just, focused on each other, focused on the true hatred that they have for each other. All right, I'm not poking the bear, at least for this race.
Those guys are like some of the nicest people I've ever, and the nicest people I've ever talked to.
Absolutely.
But right now, Jordan Wenzel out front, as some of the leaders have chosen to either go in and get some repairs or fresh tires and not be the cars out there with the oldest tires on the track. As you can see, Stu Alford going to go ahead and take some tires, but So those guys that were in on lap 67 are now up front. Scott Bolster on them lap 43 tires, along with Matthew Simmons. Then you have Justin Kirby on lap 73 tires, and then the rest of the field has come in at lap 88 as Stuart Alford is taking advantage of being towards the back of the pack and going to get the freshest of the tires from lap 90.
So given the fact that cautions are breeding cautions here a little bit, we may have to take a couple takes at this, but since we are past the halfway point and these guys are getting ready to fire off here for another restart as the pace car lights are out, we'll go ahead and turn ourselves off and crank these guys up, give you guys a little love to hear it on the restart.
We can do that as we talk. Been talking a lot as these guys have been trying to get this thing right here tonight. But we are on lap 92 and we are going to crank it up with some love to hear it. Well, we were able to get a few laps in there as for the love to hear it, as we can see the sights and sounds, and I'm sure you can hear it in the background, but it looks like Stuart Alford has been spun around again. Let's see what goes on here with Stuart. Oh! So around goes to 72, right in front of the 49. Tim Glass for nowhere to go. Gets involved as well. He backs up. So we'll see how the 72 fares out after that one. But looked like that one was a little bit of a bruise, as he got a little bit of damage now on his front end.
So we have completed 100 laps, still got 75 laps to go here in this race, and still have some of the same guys up front. Wenzel and Ryan still out front, but you see the 24 of Ratcliffe on those lap 88 tires starting to make his way through the field and now up into third. Brent Kirby holding on to fourth, Whitley in fifth. Then you got Lesh, Jeffers, Oliver Gherkin, and Hunt, your top 10. So Hunt kind of stuck back there in traffic right now. trying to make his way back through, not getting through the field quite as quickly as Ratcliffe did. So he's just going to have to pick him off one by one. But he's got some other guys in front of him right now that have the same tires as him, as Gherkin is out there with tires from lap 88, as is Oliver, and Eric Jeffers getting involved in that earlier wreck and now finds himself in 7th position.
Yeah, and right now it's just a giant chess game. Lap 102 at 175. We've had a few cautions here tonight. More than I'm sure than that they wanted, but now it's being in the right spot at the right time, having the right tires, and who's around you, so you can make these moves to get yourself to the front. But right now, Jordan Wenzel, Jeff Ryan, Andrew Ratcliffe, your top 3, Brent Kirby, Michael Whitley, Jake Lesh for your top 6, and then Eric Jeffers, Sam Oliver, Grady Gherkin, Trevor Hunt, Tony Japs, Matthew Simmons, Justin Kirby, Peter Pazuchek, Scott Bolser, Stuart Alford, Joshua Witherspoon, Tim Glass, Chris Camidlin. There are 19 cars still on the track. Travis Bennett calling it early, as he had some unfortunate events and after having a pretty decent start. So, like I said, I hope to see the 6 back in the Burger King car, but we will continue the race here tonight as Jordan Wenzel leads this field.
And the pace car lights are out once again, and it'll be in the hands of the 81, but he's got the 24 now right behind him, breathing down his neck. We'll see how long it takes Ratcliffe to try and make his way through both Ryan and Wenzel on this front row, but pace car is going to pull in this time by, and it is on Jordan Wenzel, and he's on the loud pedal, back racing here at North Wilkesboro. Good restart here from the top 3 as they break away into turn 1. Ryan just going to get down on the inside and block off Ratcliffe for the time being, but I think those newer tires are going to end up paying off here in just a lap or two, and already you see Ryan washing up a little bit. Ratcliffe still not close enough to make any kind of move, but now he's going to look to the outside, maybe angle it down and try and do the crossover, but no, he's going to stay to the outside and get the run.
Yeah, so that outside with the older tires definitely will pay off. So it's like just, what's Ryan going to do?
And Ryan is going to hit the inside wall in the front stretch. That's exactly what he's going to do. He does keep it straight, but we got some more incidents, and it looks like it's going to involve the 7 of Lesh.
Yeah, and it looks like Justin Kirby was involved as well, so. Checking up there just a little bit. There it was in front of him, so Lesh. We'll rewind this a little bit so we can kind of see what happened here. Lesh. Oops, Sam was a little bit loose.
And this is coming out of 4, so it was still clean right here. We're going into turn 1, but yeah, already in the hornet's nest back there already.
Yeah, so they're able to get around the outside. It's no caution yet, so the guys are still racing. We'll see what happens here.
I can see right now. I see the 4 of Jeffers already slide up the track. He's going to get into the back quarter panel of the 7 and spin him around, and looks like Hunt is going to get in the back of Gherkin as well. So some simultaneous spinning. The 4 is going to get along through on the inside, the 95 on the outside, and then the 59 gets by as well. But Tony Japs locking it up, and just a small little kiss to the back of Grady Gherkin right there.
All that, and look at the so little contact between the cars. It's exactly amazing. Just their self-control of 95% of the drivers are letting up and avoidance tonight. And if they didn't have enough practice, I'm sure they're getting enough of it tonight, as they've had their fair share of cautions. But the guy enjoying the cautions maybe at the moment right now is the 81 of Jordan Wenzel, as he is holding off that 24 car. Michael Whitley Jr. having a great run so far, has found himself in P number 3, and Sam Oliver avoiding them wrecks and getting around, not getting involved there, has moved him up to P number 4.
So only 2 guys now out there with the lap 67 tires, and that is Wenzel in first and Whitley Jr. in third. How long can they hold off the charges from all these guys that pit on lap 88? And now you got some guys that pit on lap 100 and 108. So there should be some guys coming through the field with some fresh rubber here, and it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be tough. But if they keep the back of the pack just keeps wrecking or causing a caution, being out front, it's hard to give that up. You're out there, clean air, nobody around you really, and it's the driving's a little bit easier. So it's like it's a hard spot to give up when you're there. So good on Jordan for keeping that E1 up there and holding off Ratcliffe with tires that are over 20 laps older. So as the tires do fall off are really quick here on these 87s.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where this race, with all the cautions, you want to try and keep track position as much as possible. And I would expect that once the 81 and 93 both start to fall back through the field a little bit, you'll see them come in under that next caution. I don't think they're going to try and run this thing all the way out to the end. As you see the superior tires there on the outside with Andrew Ratcliffe already coming up and making a name for themselves and trying to get to the outside. Got very close right there, and looks like Sam Oliver back there was trying to get involved as well, but got a little loose coming off the corner, and that's going to allow Gherkin to close in, as well as Whitley Jr. on the outside. But again, Whitley has those older tires as well. So now it looks like Trevor Hunt's going to get in the mix, and out front now side by side. Wenzel still holding him off, but gets a little sideways coming off the corner, and Gherkin did as well. He's going to lose a couple spots for doing so. But out front,
Peter Przuchek.
Yeah, we got some wrecks again, and Przuchek pulls out and gets into Tim Glass there right at the end. And I believe Ratcliffe just made the pass before that caution. Przuchek already sideways going through the corner, and tries to hold it up, tries to check it up as much as possible, and then guns it, and didn't realize Tim Glass was still coming there.
Another just the car just being a little bit loose. So,
and there you have it. Andrew Ratcliffe takes the lead, and right away Jordan Wenzel going to hop into pit lane. It's like Trevor Hunt going to join him as well. So very interesting there, as Trevor Hunt was one of those cars that pit on lap 88, but he's going to sacrifice it and come into the pits this time by. And I would expect that, unless it gets green for a while and we have a late caution, this will probably be the last time we see these guys, at least in pit lane.
Yeah, and I think this is just a strategy call here with these guys, and try to get the tires and get out there and be the freshest ones. And now it's their turn to basically avoid everything and get work their way back up front. So they're the guys that have the freshest tires right now. They're the ones that should be the faster on the track, but they have to exercise a little bit of patience and give it just that little bit of time for those tires to basically take over and catch up. And they want to make their way through the field, because we all know Andrew has the ability and the skill to pull away and kind of some laps on these folks. But I'm thinking Sam Oliver, with them same lap tires, he's been having a pretty decent run. He's found his way up in that 8th position. Michael Whitley Jr. doing a great job, with them older tires, staying in the top 3. Grady Gherkin is back up into P number 4. Scott Bolster up 9 spots here tonight in 5th. So Scott having a pretty good run after getting involved in a few bang ups. You can see the back end of his car kind of all crinkled up from being rear-ended a few times. So it just shows you don't need a perfect clean car to be running well here. It's just you need, as long as your car's got power and she turns, usually do pretty well here on these short tracks.
What are you talking about, Jimmy? That car looks like it's in perfect condition for the Friday night demo derby.
Right. So
It
we'll
looks like they just got that thing pounded back out, and that's ready to take on this week's demo derby. It's
if I think
Voltron's cut off there a little bit.
if Voltron had a mishap with the witch or something, I don't know what he's doing, but anyways, Scott doing a great job in that P number 5 and that number 45 machine.
That's what happened when Voltron plays with the sword a little bit too close to the back bumper and just drops that thing off. But we are side by side once again, getting ready to restart this thing here as we will complete lap 120 this time by. Going to be 55 laps to go. Andrew Ratcliffe back at the point. He is your control car, and he is back on the loud pedal racing here at North Wilkesboro. Good restart from both the guys in the front row as they head off into turn 1.
Yeah, and you can see Andrew kind of gave him a little stutter step and kind of threw off Sam, able to give him that whole shot, but Sam was still on it, able to keep his position, and everybody else is too wide, as you see 3 wide back there with Trevor Hunt as he was trying to make spots as they're going around again, as Tony Japs was involved here. And we'll go ahead and see what happened with Tony as he has gone around again. So again, just stepping out from 49, trying to check up, and the 4 not having anywhere to go. So just another rear end breaking away from these guys here, Carl.
Yeah, and out of turn 4 once again, just a very, very troublesome spot for these guys. And again, it's on a restart. We're seeing these cautions breeding caution because again, it's on a restart. You're grouped up with everybody. You're trying to get positions if you can, and you're trying to jump on that throttle earlier than the car is ready for it, and that's exactly what happens. But all in all, we still have all 19 drivers that are left in this race on the lead lap. So I mean, I guess that's what these cautions are helping us at least get through right now. But I think the other thing it's getting through is those old tires from Michael Whitley Jr. as he is still out there, still plugging away, still in 3rd place. So a good run here for the Krispy Kreme machine, sticking up there, and he would love to see a few more cautions, I think.
I mean, 50 more laps worth. I mean, Mike's doing a great job keeping that 83 up there with them older tires. And like I said, he's kind of like in that position, like I'm here. I probably have enough fuel to get to the end. And he's usually doing great battles in the middle of the field. So, if he's this far forward right now, and if he can keep the car there, I mean, why not stay out? So, but he's doing a great job in that 93 Krispy Kreme machine. Grady Gherkin obviously looking to get around him to close that gap on Andrew Ratcliffe, not allowing him to get too far with this point chase they got going on here. And then you see Stuart Alford with a comeback here. He's made his way back up into the top 5 after falling back there not too long ago. So he's up 13 spots. Michael Whitley Jr. is up 10. Sam Oliver's up 8. Peter Pazuchek's up 5 back there in 12th spot. Justin Kirby's up 5. And Joshua Witherspoon is up 4, so from starting in the back. So some of the guys having pretty decent runs, from their starting positions. The person who is struggling at the moment, but working his way back to the front, is Trevor Hunt, as he is down 10 spots, looking to get back up to that front and take the lead away from Andrew Ratcliffe and possibly get a win here tonight.
Yeah, how will those new tires pay off now for Hunt as... granted they are 30 lap newer than your leader, but all in all, they haven't run that many laps under green. So how many laps have they actually run off of those tires? Not too many out of the 30 laps, unfortunately. It's just one of those races where it's a short track, just being a mean old short track, and whipping these boys into shape here a little bit. But we are getting ready to go green once again here, completing lap 127, starting 128. Pace car is in, and Andrew Ratcliffe back on the loud pedal, racing again here at North Wilkesboro. Another good start from both the front guys as they will clear into turn 1, and some more action back there. Looks like they will get this one cleaned up as it looked like Jake Lesh getting in the back of Bolster, but we will stay green here. And speaking of green, the green machine of Gherkin looking to make his way back up through to the front as he moves past Whitley Jr. finally on the outside, grabs third place. Now looks to go to work on Sam Oliver for second.
Yeah, Grady is having another good run, trying to be patient as much as possible. He's trying to get that run, get to that inside, see if he can get that move on Sam. Is, that outside, they get that nice run, and it's not that it's much faster. It's just that the inside is pinched, and he can't use the outside line in order to continue his runoff. So, being stuck down there in that bottom with a guy on the outside just does not allow you to go around. But we are out with another caution, as it looks like Josh Witherspoon and Justin Kirby crash. There's Joshua Witherspoon.
Yeah, it looked like Kirby went to go down the inside and maybe thought the 41 was going to come up and he was going to pull a little crossover, but 41 stayed to the inside, and that is going to bring out another caution here for these guys.
Yeah, so another caution here as the 41 gets involved along with Justin Kirby, as Justin jumps to the pits to have that car towed and worked on. Actually, it looks like the 58 has retired for the evening, so the 58 is out. We have 18 cars still remaining. Stuart Alford is now in the lead, as some guys have come down for maybe their last set of tires to finish up this race, but that will put the 72 out front, with the 57 of Brent Kirby in second, Jordan Wenzel's in third, Trevor Hunt is up to fourth, Scott Bolsters in fifth, Matthew Simmons in sixth, Peter Przuchek up in seventh, Chris Comedlins in eighth, Tony Japs in ninth, Tim Glass in 10th. You have Joshua Witherspoon, Andrew Ratcliffe, Grady Gherkin, Sam Oliver, Mike Whitley Jr., Jake Lesh, and Jeff Ryan and Eric Jeffers round out your 18 cars that remain on the track.
So your leaders electing to come into a pit lane there, as now Ratcliffe, Gherkin, Oliver, Whitley, all going to be relegated back to just outside the top 10, and they'll have to try and make their way back up through the field, but already haven't done so are those guys there in third and fourth with Wenzel and Hunt. They pit just on lap 116, and again, not too many laps under green, so good chance they can maybe work their way past Alford and Brent Kirby here at the front and grab first and second away, and then they will be hoping for no cautions for once to get here to the end and stay away from those guys that just got those freshies on this last pit stop. But it is going to be Stuart Alford. Certainly had his ups and downs today, and probably more downs than ups, but finds himself in first place now as we cross the line to start lap 135. So we will have 41 laps to go.
Yeah, the chess match is definitely continuing here tonight. We don't know who's going to be there at the end. We still have 40 laps remaining here tonight, and if they go green, they'll be over in a flash. But anybody can win this thing. You got Stewart up front, and Brent Kirby has made his way back up here. Jordan Wenzel has been towards the front most of the evening. Trevor Hunt started on the pole. But right now, the pace car is in, and Stuart Alford will take him down to the green flag as he gets a pretty decent start, allowing him to get out to the front here. But it looks like Brent Kirby is going to use that high side over Jordan Wenzel as they are 2x2. A little bit of 3-wide action as back there with Andrew Ratcliffe and Tony Japs. So these guys need to exercise some patience. We know they want to get to the front, as the cautions have been proven to be the equalizer here tonight, Carl.
Yeah, I don't think there's patience in the field here tonight, as getting very close to the wall there. The 24 trying to get his way up through the field as quick as possible, doing so far. But now may have to shift down to the inside as Bolster is up on the outside, as Seen some 3 wide action once again in the back, and now Porzucek going to slide right in front of that 3 wide battle, and that could be another big one here in the back, and indeed it is.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and focus on Peter Porzucek. See what happened. He just lost it. Sliding up into a few cars there, the 46, the 18. The 86, so a few cars getting collected there at the end, and not what they want to see late here in the race, as we are now lap 139 of 175. Stuart Alford's still out front, and I believe Mike Whitley Jr. did come in for some fresh tires, so Scott Bolster is now in the pits, probably going to get some needed repairs and some fresh tires, and Jeff Ryan as well. So everybody else is going to stay out. So like this part of the race, Carl, I mean, we've seen our fair share of cautions here tonight, and I'm sure some of the, as a driver, you, myself and you, we've been here where the race isn't it's just not going the way everybody wants it to go, and I'm sure those people are frustrated and trying to make things happen in a short amount of time. Is this something that you think just patience would pay out just a little bit better for these drivers here?
Short answer, would it pay off and get some green flag runs? Yes. Would it pay off and give you a better finish? No. Unfortunately, when you have caution fest like this, you have a sense of urgency because that next caution is going to be right around the corner, and where you would have normally taken maybe 2-3 laps to try and set up a guy and make that pass, now you got to kind of shove it down into the corner and make that pass now, because that caution could be right around the corner, and if you don't make the pass now, you're going to be sitting behind him again through another caution run, and you're going to have to try and figure out how to set up a pass once again, with hopes that you're not going to get past yourself, on that next restart. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation when you have races like this, because you want to have more patience so you don't have as many cautions, but you're just not going to. I mean, it's really that simple.
Yeah, I mean, the competitive edge, I think, takes over as a driver. You want to win, you want to finish as best you can, and then like the human side of you is like, well, I'd like to see us go green and drive fair and just kind of let this thing kind of finish out. But being competitive and just wanting to get the best finish possible, sometimes it's tough, and it gets the better of you and puts you in a bad position, and sometimes you make a bad judgment call, whether it's too much throttle coming out of a corner or not enough brakes going into a corner. But we're getting lined up here to go back to green, as they are now down the backstretch here. The lights are off on the pace car. Stuart Alford will lead these guys to the green flag yet again here, over Brent Kirby and Jordan Wenzel.
With that front end banged in like it is, it can't be getting too much clean air into the front of it, but working out so far for the Poe folks. Number 72, as he's back out to the lead, and now looks like Brent Kirby is coming under pressure from Jordan Wenzel, who's going to go to the inside for second place, as everybody kind of stacking up once again. Wenzel to the inside, and you see already Ratcliffe has made his way past Trevor Hunt.
Oh, Jake Leschko.
And we've got another caution.
This one here is going to be with Jake Lesch, Joshua Witherspoon, Scott Bolster. Scott was just in the nowhere to go. Up to the high side, kind of crashing his way through the pile up as the field just stopped here. Also, Chris Comidlin was involved there. So again, the back of the pack getting collected, getting shifted around. Drivers wondering when the mayhem might stop tonight. When will the final lap be here, as these guys continue to knock this thing out? 1 hour and 12 minutes into this race so far, at lap 147 of 100. 75. So we got a few takers coming into the pits now, as you have Trevor Hunt, Brent Kirby, Matthew Simmons, Jake Lesh, Jeff Ryan, and Josh Witherspoon in for a stall, and maybe for their last set of tires. These guys only have 4 sets of tires, but maybe whether they got right sides left, or maybe they took rights once and they still got some fresh left ones. Anything to maybe help make this car handle a little better. Maybe filling the tank up might make it feel a little better. I don't know. So whatever they can do to get this car to get to the end and hopefully be able to finish. As you can see, Jake Lesh and Eric Jeffers making it out in front of the pace car to stay on the lead lap, but Jordan Wenzel and Stuart Alford will be out front over Andrew Ratcliffe. And then newer tires, Sam Oliver there's there in 4th, Tony Japs doing a great job in 5th, Grady Kirkins in 6th, Tim Glass in 7th, Scott Bolsters in 8th, Peter Pazuchek's in 9th, and Michael Whitley for your top 10. And again, if I haven't said it enough, definitely loved and to thank all the fans out there that have liked, subscribed, shared our videos as we continue to support UCRL and all the other broadcasts that we do throughout iRacing.
While we have a chance here under caution, give a rundown of what's going to be coming up here on CRN over the next week. As tomorrow night, you'll have Dylan McDonald in a booth for the SS LMS Street Star late model, super late model race over there. Then on Thursday night, special event here for CRN, as we will have the first ever CRN Cup, and we went to see. We asked all our leagues that we broadcast to go ahead and put in teams if they'd like to, but unfortunately, a lot of the leagues either have other races that night or working or things like that. So mainly going to be the guys that you see over in core, but we do have one entry here from these guys here at UCRL. So it looks like we're going to have 7 teams at least in attendance, possibly an 8th yet still to sign up, but that is going to be Thursday night. Special event here on CRN. Friday night is going to be Redline Racing. Saturday is NSR. Sunday Premier Series. Monday a GT Series. And then back here in action. Next week is not going to be UCRL, but you'll have the doubleheader of the ARCA and Truck Series on Tuesday night, as it is getting very, very busy here in the back half of this field. And man, just action all the way through, and those guys that just came in the pits trying to utilize those fresh tires as quick as possible, as we're down to about 24 laps to go here in this race. And out front it is Stuart Alford. Ratcliffe has moved himself into 2nd place, but I think it's just gonna be a matter of time with those 30 lap newer tires before Ratcliffe makes the move on Alford for the lead. Already sizing him up on the outside, trying to get a good run, but getting loose off of turn 2, and it allows Jordan Wenzel to be still right there, as Wenzel is certainly hunting for the back, not getting there quite yet, but it is a 3-car battle at the front right now. And I was just about to say, Jimmy, is this our longest green flag run of the race? And, well, another incident here at the back of the field. Looks like it involves the 49 and actually a few guys. Looks like just pulling away right now. So we'll take a look at what exactly transpired here. And looks like the 49 just kind of cutting down there, and Brzuchek getting into him. It looks like Trevor Hunt getting involved as well.
Wow,
I think but then he gets tagged from behind. Hard impact there from the 4 of Jeffers.
Another parking lot here is evolved. Not too much. Obviously some cars getting involved with some light hits, but looks like the 49 has taken the brunt of this one, Carl, as he's backing off the wall here. And it looks like that he's I think his car might be done. I'm gonna go here live and see where he's at, but 49, and where's he? Yeah, he's in the pits.
He's in pit lane right now. And even the cat on the hood was sticking out his tongue at this one. So, yeah, a bit of a rough one here for Matthew Simmons, and had a good night going early in the race, but as soon as he started slipping back through the field, it was just it seemed like he was involved in just about everything.
Pace car goes by, so Simmons will get trapped one lap down there as the pace car goes around as he was in the pits. Same thing with Peter Pazuchek. So you guys fall onto the wayside here as towards the end of the race with some late incidents. Stuart Alford's still out front from tires from lap 100. He is definitely loving these cautions. That'll give him a pretty good finish here for the night as Andrew Ratcliffe is continuing to look to get the better of him and get around him. So Jordan Wenzel back there in that third spot. Sam Oliver's in fourth. Grady Gherkins in fifth. Tony Chaps in sixth. Scott Bolster's up to seventh. Michael Whitley Jr. up to eighth. Ninth is Chris Camidlin, and Brent Kirby is your top 10.
So we are now about ready to complete lap 158. It's going to start 159 and should take the green on lap 160. So we'll have 16 laps to go once we take the green flag. And I guess the question right now is how many of them can be done under green, and what will we see happen at the front of the pack as you have Ratcliffe now once again starting on the outside of the front row. Wenzel right there was looking racy, even though he had a little bit older tires than Ratcliffe. You got Sam Oliver up there with those newer tires, as is Grady Gherkin. I really have no idea what's going to happen here to the end. I mean,
I don't know. Like I said, there's so much going on right now, and you're trying to watch these guys. Obviously, Stuart Alford wants to get a jump, and he's going to get a jump. Andrew Ratcliffe is going to fall in right behind him. He's going to take that high side and try to get a run coming out of two. He is going to get a run as looks like the 72 got a little
sideways
wiggle.
Though.
Yeah. Right,
and he's going to have to fall back in line into turn 3 and 4, and Wenzel right there as well, just waiting to try and pounce. As Alford going to drive in a little bit higher and make Ratcliffe go up to just another lane there at the front. Gherkin looking for a way around Oliver, not going to happen. Bolster back here in front of Whitley, trying to get around Japs, and Japs getting close to the back of Gherkin as well.
Yes.
And now pass for the lead as Ratcliffe going to go to the inside, and he will clear the 72 onto the backstretch, and Wenzel trying to follow suit and get to the inside as well, as we got a lap car. The 67 of Ryan trying to get to pit road. He's going to do so. Oliver gets really loose off of turn 4, but he's going to hold on to that position.
Yeah, we had a few guys kind of check up here and get into a little incident as we maintain green here. Gonna go back with Chris Camidlin right here and Jake Blesh. And no caution called on this one, Carl, as they continue to go green.
Wenzel does clear and move into second place, and now trying to hunt down Andrew Ratcliffe as Alford hanging on to third place right now. Gherkin in fourth, Oliver in fifth. Looks like Kirby just getting past Chaps for sixth. Then you got Whitley in eighth, Bolster in ninth, and Jeffers rounding out your top 10. But Whitley now getting into Japs. That is going to bring out another caution as we've got multiple cars involved here. Turn sideways into turn 1, and yeah, there is another caution.
Yeah, some of the guys in the back were waiting for that one to be called from the previous one, but yeah, the urgency is setting in. So I couldn't quite get that car turned down. Ended up getting into the 19. Trevor sneaking by with Scott in between the two cars, trying to stay as they tagged each other, but able to get around. So Tony Japs, Michael Whitley, and Eric Jeffers all kind of collectively in that one, as we are now on lap 166 of 175, Carl. So they're going to get at least one more short run here as they continue to run here at the short track. And this is one of the many reasons that they're not my favorite. But this is all part of racing, and the better you get at these tracks and the more times you do them, it's they can be a lot of fun, especially when you go green for a long time. So, but anyways, not a typical race night here from the boys of UCRL on the Top Gun Cup Series. Right now, Andrew Ratcliffe out front with over Jordan Wenzel, Stuart Alford, Grady Gherkin, Sam Oliver, Brent Kirby, Trevor Hunt, Scott Bolster, Josh Witherspoon, and Tony Japs for your top 10. Then you have Tim Glass, Peter Pazuchek, Eric Jeffers, Jake Lesh, Michael Whitley Jr., Chris Comedlin, and Jeff Ryan for your 17 cars that are still remaining on the track.
Yeah, and I mean, it's with the lap times here at the short track here of North Wilkesboro. Again, you're getting 3 laps done in about a minute. So I mean, these guys, if they had stayed under green the entire way, I mean, this race is done in less than an hour. But because the cautions keep coming out, that's why we're at an hour and 23 minutes right now. And I can't say that this thing is going to end on lap 175. We could have a little time left, as well as, again, we talked about it under the last caution. It's tough, when you have this many cautions out here. You're going to be aggressive and you're going to try and go for moves that you typically don't, because you know that next caution is just kind of right around the corner. Pun intended.
Yeah, I mean, as far as lengths of races, I think my longest race in iRacing, besides doing like an endurance event, but like an official, like, you're the only driver in the car, was one of these ovals. It was one of the NIS races, and it was caution after caution after caution after caution. And we all know the NIS races are like half-length races, but the race ended up like 3 hours long. It was so long. It was so many cautions. It was a longer track, so the caution laps took forever. So it was real kind of frustrating, as you're just kind of like stuck in the middle of the pack, and you really just, like you said, just kind of cautions breeding cautions, and whoever's left is trying to do what they can. But I think at the end of the race, I think there was only maybe 8 of us that were like race worthy. So definitely it makes for a long night or a long race. But Andrew Ratcliffe on the loud pedal, getting a great start over Jordan Wenzel, who has moved into that second spot over Grady Gherkin. Stuart Alford moving back to the P4 spot. Let's go up here, up to Sam Oliver, is fighting on the inside of Brent Kirby, who has made his way back up front to P5. So everybody up front was up front from the beginning, Carl, and they kind of happened to make their way to the back up to the front, but a little bit of beating and banging back here. Is there a 3 wide of Mike Whitley, the 18 of Tim Glass, and who's at the 86. So these guys still are racing very, very hard in the back, but just as hard as in the front, as Andrew Ratcliffe, actually probably harder now that Andrew Ratcliffe is out to the lead. Oh, Sam Oliver into the wall. So we are going to come out with another caution here at lap 173. So we'll go ahead and pull that back. It looks like Mike Whitley Jr.
No, this I believe happened up in front. Yeah,
that happened after.
Got very close there into the 86, and yeah, actually that might have been what brought out the caution right there.
Yeah, and I think it was obviously it was before that. It was I think it was Sam Oliver.
Oliver got sideways, but I think he kind of slid it up into the outside wall. I don't think he ever got sideways. That was in the next corner.
Yeah. Let's play out.
As he gets a little tag there from the 59, and again, he's going to slide it sideways, but he's going to kind of flat it into the wall, I believe, on the outside. So I don't think he ever got sideways. So it was most likely the little incident there on the front stretch that brought out the caution. As all things considered, Sam Oliver did a pretty good job kind of saving this thing.
Yeah, I mean, he was having a good run running up front, and unfortunate, it was, the incident was here towards the end of the race. So depending on how beat up that car is, and how many spots they'll be able to salvage from that. As you can see, a little bit of damage on the right or front bumper there as from tagging the wall. So not too bad, still sitting in that P number 6, but Andrew Ratcliffe out front over Jordan Wenzel. Stuart Alford now is in 3rd, Grady Gerkens in 4th, Brent Kirby is in 5th, Sam Oliver again is 6th, Trevor Hunt's in 7th, Scott Bolster again with another top 10 so far in P number 8, Joshua Witherspoon's in 9th, and Tony Japs in P number 10. And back in 11th is Peter Przuchek, Jake Lesh, Eric Jeffers, Chris Camidlin, Michael Whitley Jr., Tim Glass, and Jeff Ryan for our 17 car field that is remaining here tonight.
Yeah, and luckily, Barry, we don't have the winner of this race have to walk a straight line afterwards and do a little field sobriety test, because yeah, it's certainly looking like a little bit of drunk driving for some of these guys out here. But we are getting close to the end. I guess that is the the goal at this point.
We're in overtime.
Get to the end of this race, and we are in overtime right now. As looks like we'll go about 180 laps here tonight instead of 175. But out front, you have Andrew Ratcliffe now going to restart from the front. Jordan Wenzel in 2nd. Stuart Alford still out there with those older tires, but he is in 3rd place right now. 4th place, Grady Gerken has some fresher tires as well, just trying to wait for his right moment to make it through there as well.
Yeah, and this is going to be a shootout, Carl. I don't. These boys aren't sleeping, so it's going to be a shootout here, and I hope that they can get the this green-white checker in and finish this thing under green. But these guys are definitely competitors, and they've been giving it their all. His car is in. Andrew Ratcliffe is on the loud pedal, a little bit loose coming out of the turn, but it's still a nice jump over Jordan Wenzel and Grady Gerken to the outside. Stuart Alford looking to the inside to take P number 3 away, and he has it as of right now, but that inside is just not the line that's been making it happen. But Stuart is going to make that happen right here on this pass. Is able to slide up in front of Grady Gerken.
So I believe these guys only have one green-white checkered, so that may end up ending the race here for these guys.
What was it? All I have is Eric Jeffers went off track. Let's see what this is. Oh,
gets in the back of Przuchek right there.
So a late caution here, bringing it out, but that will be it, folks. And it looks like unofficial results as of right now. It looks like Andrew Ratcliffe, Jordan Wenzel, and Stuart Alford for your podium. And then you have Grady Gerken, Brent Kirby, Sam Oliver, Trevor Hunt, Scott Bolster, Joshua Witherspoon, and Tony Japs for your R Top 10 tonight. Then Jake Lesh, Chris Camidlin, Eric Jeffers, Tim Glass, Michael Whitley Jr., Peter Przuchek, Jeff Ryan, Matthew Simmons, Justin Kirby, and Travis Bennett for our full 20 car field results. The rest of the race is finishing it up. It does look like Andrew Ratcliffe will be our winner over Jordan Wenzel and Stuart Alford, but just waiting for iRacing to do its thing, because you never know sometimes, Carl.
Yeah, no, this is going to be the official results here. So Andrew Ratcliffe going to be your winner here tonight, and grabbing another win here on the season. And certainly they've come a little bit easier for Ratcliffe this year, but he will take another win here for sure. But we'll go ahead and jump right to our interviews and not waste any time. And we're going to bring in our 3rd place finisher. And Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and take him? It is going to be the 72 of Stuart Alford.
Hey Stuart, this is Jimmy Carlton, the booth. You copy?
Hey fellas, how you doing again?
Hey, pretty good. A very interesting night. But as interesting as it was, you were able to find yourself on the podium here tonight after staying out there with them older tires, especially at the end. And I was kind of saying to Carl, I said, I think at this time, I mean, with all the cautions going on, I think, you know, just having those positions is maybe just a call to have tonight. Is that what you were kind of thinking?
Yeah, man, that was my same thought. It was a bit of a gong show out there, and I just I saw there was I had a chance to pit maybe with like 30 or 40 to go, and once I got past that point, I was like, screw it. It's just going to be a wreck fest till the end, and we'll just maybe hang on, see if we can get a top 5 or top 10 out of it, and got lucky. And yeah, it's too bad we couldn't have some more clean racing, but I guess we're making up for last week with all the cautions we missed at Darlington, or 2 weeks ago. So
you guys definitely conquered the lady in black, but this track was not friendly to you guys tonight, and you know, a bit of a chess match. And I think you played your cards right, and like I said, you put yourself in a position. You weren't like a slow car, and you were running up front. Obviously, Andrew Ratcliffe is always the car that it seems like everybody's chasing from week in and week out, and he was able to put his pieces together and get a good finish here tonight. But you know, again, congratulations to you on a third place finish. And is there anything, you know, maybe with the car that maybe could have helped? Because I noticed a lot of people kind of nothing was like really too like between drivers for the most part. A lot of it was like self-inflicted, like turning the cars around and like coming out of 4.
Yeah, it was just tight quarters, really. Everybody's just, you know, it's a track where there's just so many different ways to slice up the turns, and guys are getting runs in different spots, and yeah, it was a good time. But I appreciate you guys. Thanks again for putting on a good show.
All right, Stu. Well, definitely, again, congratulations. And before we let you go and celebrate with your friends and family, you got any shout outs that you may have?
I'm all out of ideas. I'm going to go have a glass of whiskey and watch some hockey. So you fellas have a good one.
That sounds like a plan. Well, you take it
Canadian right there.
Yep.
All right. That is your second place finisher, the 72 of Stuart Alford. And now we bring in the second place finisher of Jordan Wenzel. And Jordan, you were right there at, well, I'd say the end, but right there probably for the last 30, 40 laps as all these cautions kind of just bled together in my mind here. But you were there for quite some time. You had maybe a little bit older tires than Ratcliffe, but it seemed like you had the pace, and you were very close to getting to his back bumper and maybe getting a little bump and run action going. But was there anything you could have done differently there at the end to try and get the 24?
I'm not 100% certain there was. He was really quick, and he also had about 20 lap newer tires. So I'd been on an alternative tire strategy the entire night, and I was able to maintain with everybody and hold up in the lead, like top 5 area, but just couldn't get up to the front, or just couldn't hold him off. And once he got around me the first couple of times, I knew he had more pace, especially on those better tires than mine. So he just drove off.
So of course there's always frustration from drivers when you have a race like this, that has so many cautions. But what's it like? What's the mindset of just kind of having to reset every 5-6 laps and have another restart and really try and nail it? If you're not the leader, you're not dictating anything, and you're trying to to keep up with the leader, especially there at the end when you're restarting second with Ratcliffe. So what's kind of the mindset when you're having this many restarts?
Please let third place fail. Please let third place fail. Because that entire time, that inside had been so dominant. So when you're starting on the outside like that, you're just sitting there just pretty much getting ready to cry. You're like, oh, I'm about to get destroyed. But I think Stewart had even worse tires than I did. So he slipped them quite a few times on those restarts, which allowed me to maintain where I was. Just didn't have the tires to catch up, I don't think.
Well, either way, I think after everything is all said and done tonight and everything that you guys went through, I would think that a second place, normally it feels a little rough because you were right there and had a chance to win, but it's probably got to feel like a relief to get second here tonight.
It really does, considering every race I've ran so far otherwise, I've spun from the lead, and it's not fun.
Well, there you go. Now you know if you want to get a good finish, just be second. Don't be first.
Just back off. Just back off. I gotta give a shout out as well to Peter for giving me a little pep talk on that last green white checkered, because during that he's just like, it's okay to come second. You just if you need to, just to drive the car safely. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm here to win. I'm just gonna try this. And then the caution came out, so I was like, yay, I finished.
Well, you got your second place here. You got a nice little podium here at North Wilkesboro. And now taking a look at the schedule, next week you guys are going to do some more short track racing, but on the high banks of Bristol. How do you feel like that's going to fare? Do you feel like it's going to be a little bit better there? You know, more guys can have control at Bristol, or could it end up being the same type of show?
I'm optimistic that it will be better, but Bristol has always produced kind of subpar racing because of how full throttle you can go. So we'll see how it goes.
Hopefully you guys have a little breather at Bristol, because Martinsville follows that one. And I'm not going to get into my distaste for Martinsville, but I know what that can end up turning into. But either way, you knock out the first of the three short tracks here with the second place. So a good job out here tonight. Anybody you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Like I said, Peter, part of SIR, Sprunk International Racing, our team leader, who unfortunately I don't know if he'll ever be coming back, Jasper Crawford, for creating that team, and then all the guys that I race with over at Full Throttle Motorsports. They're also really good guys. They've been letting me figure out how to drive other cars as well. So it's been fun. I enjoy racing with these guys, and it's been this league is how I met all of these guys. So it's been awesome to meet these guys and get better.
Well, getting better is what you're doing right now, and you figured out how to finish second, and now you just got to figure out how to get and keep the lead and not spin yourself in first. So you got one more step up there to go. But congrats on the second place tonight. We'll let you go celebrate with the team.
Thank you very much.
At your second place finisher, the 81 of Jordan Wenzel. And now, Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and round it off with our winner here tonight, the 24 of Andrew Ratcliffe.
Hey, Andrew, Jimmy, and Carl up in the booth. You copy?
Yes, sir.
And we meet again, friend. Hey, you played the chess game well tonight with the all the cautions thrown at you, and the being in the right spot at the right time. You managed to work your way back from the back to the front and get yourself another win here tonight. So, why don't you give us your thoughts on the race here tonight? As we know that you're one of the faster cars on track, and it seems pretty much anywhere where we go. It's just making sure that you got all the pieces in the right spot to get yourself a win.
Yeah, that was. I wish that one could have been better. I mean, we had 180 laps and 90 were caution. I mean, it's honestly unacceptable. It's got to be better. I mean, I'm looking at the incident points. I mean, I see the highest incident total in the race is 37. I mean, I don't really get it. It felt like I was able to go up through the field easily and not necessarily hit anybody, but overall, I mean, because I worked hard on the weekend on the long runs. I felt like that was going to be my forte, was the long run speed, but we never got a long run over 30 laps, I don't think. But overall, on the short run speed, I was doing pretty well. I felt like I was the only one utilizing the outside, and that's ultimately what I think ended up winning me that race, because I felt like when I pitted with like 35 to go, I thought it was too late, because I didn't think Jordan and Stewart had enough laps on the tires to really make a difference by the time I get up there. But on that initial start, after I pitted, I think I went from 11th to 5th, and it was capped off by like an out. I was all the way on the wall, 3 wide, and past 2 cars to get me to 5th there right before the yellow came out. And, I run a lot of races here when officials come here, and every other stock car except this one, the top is the fastest way to go, and it saves tires the best. So I've got a lot of experience running that top. I kind of know the feel I need, and it was good on a short run. You could definitely make up spots. But even then, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get Jordan or Stewart, and I just barely did. And I'm just glad. As bad as the race was, finishing first is always great.
Yeah, I mean that I'm sure nobody wants to have as many cautions as you did. As obviously from like 2 weeks ago, you pretty much want green flag from start to finish at Darlington. So, but the 72 of Stewart, I mean, he stayed out there. He was on last time he pit was like lap 100, so he was just basically just trying to get the best finish he could on the tires he had. So you definitely had the tires on the two of the guys behind you, and you were able to like I said, move your chess pieces in the right spot. Instead of finishing in the middle of the pack, you were able to come out on top tonight.
Absolutely, and I'm looking forward to Bristol. That is by far my best track on the sim. I just hope it's better. And Bristol's, in my opinion, is more multi-grooved, I guess. It's probably going to be a bottom feeder as far as saving tires, and probably kind of the same thing here. You can use the outside to make passes if you're faster than somebody if you have to.
Yeah, it's definitely Bristol's a little more banking, a little more. I think it's got a little bit faster pace to it, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys there. That's for sure. Too bad it's 2 weeks away, but again, congratulations here tonight. And before we let you celebrate with your teammates, any shout outs or thanks that you may have?
Yeah, first off, you guys in the booth. I'm sure that was not y'all's favorite one to call. So great patience by y'all to stick with us tonight. And I think we'll be better at Bristol. I think we'll realize we usually do pretty well after having a bad race like this, and I think everyone here knows what we got to do. We just got to give a little more room, and I think the biggest thing is we can be aggressive but be under control at the same time. But thanks to you guys once again. Thanks to Grady, Jacob, and Tim. This is I've never raced with these guys, and they kind of took me in on a new team this year. So it's been so fun so far. I think we're leading team points in this the 87 series. Great team effort. First, fourth, and 11th again. So, and all of our guys are in the top 15. So another good points night for Turn and Burn Racing. And thanks to Scott. He's been real busy lately, and he's doing all he can to manage all two of the active leads at this time, and I really appreciate him because I know he's had a lot of late nights and early mornings, and sacrifices his time and sleep, just so we can race. And big shout out to Scott.
And I can't emphasize that on the league owner doing that for you guys and putting in all the time. I've had my conversations with Scott, that's for sure. And it's always fun to come out here, no matter if you guys have a bad race or a great race. It's fun to be out here with UCRL and put on a good show the best we can for you, and so you guys can go back and watch them. So again, congratulations, and we'll see you in 2 weeks in Bristol.
Absolutely looking forward to Bristol. Thank you, guys.
All right, that your winner here tonight, the 24 of Andrew Ratcliffe. And Jimmy, I gotta say, I'm worried for us that we may end up on the APHIS report after this one. I think we might have some some secondhand X after this one. Just some might have rubbed off up here into the booth, and it's just, I mean, I joke, and I know some of these guys in here are probably pretty upset about the night here tonight, but there's nothing you can do. I mean, it's sometimes you just have a rough night, and you look one race ago, and they were literally clean the entire night and had a caution-free race. So it's the ebbs and flows of iRacing, and maybe they got a little extra frustration out here tonight, and hopefully we won't see it in 2 weeks at Bristol. Bristol is got the high banking, so it should help out a little bit, but it can be the same way. You can get a little loose if you're just goosing that throttle a little bit too early coming off the corners, and you may see some of the same. So yeah, I mean, Andrew kind of nailed it on the head. You got to try and give each other some room, and hopefully everything pans out. I mean, it seemed like every time we looked at these guys tonight, they were running 3 wide. On especially on the restarts, and again, I get the temptation to try and get up there and get as many spots in as quick as possible on these restarts, but more often than not, that end up leading into guys trying to drive a little bit deeper into the corners and guys getting in the back of others. And then he had, the other issues with guys just trying to get off the corner and getting on the gas too hard. But it happens. It's short track racing. I know that's exactly why you love short track racing so much. And we get essentially a month more of it, since it's 2 weeks from now is Bristol, and then another 2 weeks is Martinsville. So I may have something to do in 4 weeks. I don't know yet. I may have a doctor's appointment. I have to schedule it right about now. But but Jimmy, what are your final thoughts here from North Wilkesboro?
My final thoughts are, from a guy that doesn't, care for short tracks. I mean, you guys have it in you to keep it up. Just brush this one off, on to the next one. You guys are doing great, and we'll see you on the track, obviously, and just kind of looking forward to seeing what kind of action we will have at Bristol.
And looking to see what these guys are going to have for all the guys over there at Core, myself included, on Thursday night. So again, UCRL is in there with a team, and give you the rundown of the team right now, and it is going to be made up of Scott Bolster, Grady Gherkin, Jake Lesh, and as of right now, Jeremy Little had a little, no pun intended, issue outside today and hurt himself. So best wishes for Jeremy Little to ice that thing, heat that thing, drug that thing, whatever it's going to take to get you out there on the track on Thursday. If not, we may see somebody else taking the wheel for the UCRL team on Thursday night. But the CRN Cup should be a fun event. Make sure you tune into that one. But I mean, we got racing every night of the week this week, Jimmy. It's going to be great. And if you're into racing, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like the video, whether you like the race here or not. Give these guys a like, as they usually put on some fantastic shows. That is going to do it for tonight for myself and Jimmy here at North Wilkesboro. We'll see you at the track.
Peace.